losing early, losing in your opening game does require and set an unrealistic expectation of you. Do that lower bracket run from the second round. It is a tall order. No one wants that fate. And it will be determined in Battle 4 here on Overpass.
All right, well, the buy's coming out early. We've got Flusher with 2 flashes and a kit. Everybody else with Kevlar behind their USPs. And on the Vitality side of things, just taking a little bit look, there's a P250 in Shox' hands. Once again, no Kevlar behind that. And the same for ZywOo. They have the utility, smoke and flashes, with Masuta, RPK, and Apex all down to the Glocks and armor. As we take a look at the radar in your top left, you can take stock of how the Ts have spread on out, clearing over towards Playground early, and also putting up a little bit of a defense over towards the B side of things. Apex making sure there's no aggression over towards the sewer position. He's going to have a fight very, very soon if he leers forward anymore, and the timing was good. Kept on notice the B defenders, who are stacked of 4 Fnatic players right now, and that's just Golden over towards A on his lonesome. Remember, Flusher is in rotation with those flashbangs to assist.
Yeah, Flusher trying to be as prevalent as he can to this, but there will be a bit of timing where Golden will be very much alone, and it still maintains for now. Apex's initial work has done very well to keep them all very dedicated towards this. Masuta and Apex, oh, goodbye Shox. That was very clean, very smooth on approach, and we do see now Flusher coming over, flashes to hand, and the help could be required pretty soon.
Yeah, ZywOo not going to go down to Golden's USP, but he does well to find a second. RPK tucks in and the bomb goes down. Retake off the flash could be fantastic. Apex close quarters. ZywOo with a P250 steadies his aim and puts it into the brain. A double for RPK as well. Apex with his P250, they make it work. Solid start. Vitality, B take. Early casualties. You can see it looks like Fnatic are actually down to force for this one.
Yeah, on their CT sides, they like to force on the second round, regardless of, well, there's no plant coming into play for the CTs. But on the T side, if they don't get that plant down, we tend to see them go for the eco to buy up in the third. They like to battle for it on this CT side, and 4 Deagles with a scout in the hands of Crims, a little bit of utility of 3 flashes. There was 4 smokes, as one has already been thrown on out towards that monster tunnel. There was a Molotov in play, a HE, and a flash. So finding opening damage is important, and JW almost got gifted an opportunity there. ZywOo overseeing Masuta, the 2 youngsters. One a rookie, one player of the year in 2019. Able to deal with that aggression of JW, and now RPK has been tagged on down. So things do get a little bit dicey for Vitality here, but they're working with a lot of utility and a lot of ground, but this kill from Brolin could change that.
Oh, stuck around even, feeling a little bold there, Brolin. Does do good damage as well, though. RPK and ZywOo now low. That kind of keeps this round pretty entertaining in the aspect that these Deagles, that scout, is just as valuable now as any other rifle that could have come out. However, Masuta and Shox, of course, trying to turn that around. Apparently not. Masuta and ZywOo. As I think we've lost a player there, so I think Shox might have dropped. I'm sure there'll be a timeout coming in, but obviously with damage being done previously, I believe that the round does count as stands.
Ouch.
And not the way you want to be starting after winning that pistol round. And if we remember, Vertigo was the force by Wars, so 2 kills away from converting theirs. Brolin onto ZywOo, make that 1. Nade is good. Masuta is low, 50 points of health remaining. He's going to try and do as much damage as he can here, but with the clock whittling down, his HP following. And it looks like it will be round number 2 and the first on the board for Fnatic here on map number 3. That's going to be Flusher taking Masuta down. And, well, will we get that timeout coming on through? Looks like Shox
He is back,
is
so
in the server. So, yeah,
might be okay.
No dramas. Maybe, well, we won't even speculate. We'll just get back underway, as it should be a force buy coming through from Vitality. They have the $1,400 bottom of the barrel loss bonus coming into play. Looks like RPK into the Deagle with armor. A late buy again from Vitality. We saw some of these rounds over there on Vertigo. Not as bad when you're on the T side because you get to set the pace, but on the CT side, if you're leaving spawn late, it's not fantastic, as we do have JW on the Mag 7. It's like a clustered approach from Vitality, as you can see, with X-Ray on. The glowing halo around the Ts as they make their way through the fountain area. And Brolin is waiting to do some more damage.
What can you do with this, though? I keep underestimating the pistols, and honestly, after Inferno and kind of what we've just seen, they do keep coming through pretty well, but... Around the world we go. Quite like Apex's knife. I keep seeing him do that within it.
Looks like a toothpick.
Yeah.
I just got rid of my stiletto. Don't get
I'm
me...
sorry. No, you've got the new one. You've got the nice new one.
The skeleton's fantastic.
He does that little...
Yeah.
The way
Does a little
I
flingy
wanted the
thing.
skeleton, but I couldn't afford it, so I went for the paracord.
Yeah, but yours does look fancier than mine. Mine looks like it's kind of been pulled out of the skeleton trash bag.
I like it. I think yours is fantastic.
Yeah,
Dupree's got it, so it's really
Big
cool.
me up. Now then, Masuta's going for the flying deagle, a rare breed of bird. Don't see them too often. Caca! Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's a deagle. Roland, though, not much he's going to be able to say about this one, but into the site comes JW, and he got quite a fright. Brolin onto RPK as well. Apex only with a P250. This, okay, gets interesting now. JW knows where they both are. The nade could be sensational. Shocks just down to 35. Apex low. Oh, this is such sketchy duels. Crimson's closing the gap now. Oh, and they find the necessary frags. Vitality fight back. My goodness, it doesn't seem like you can separate the two of them. Forced by wars. Don't think fnatic are going to want to continue to chase that dragon. It seems like it would be ill-advised. I say that as Brolin full buys.
Yeah, they'll keep the battle for this here, fnatic. They love a good bit of argy-bargy within the early stages.
Forced by wars. I don't know, dude, but with like potentially a third rifle, he's gone for a Mac 10, but it's 3 in the form of an AK and 2 Galils up against CZ's Deagles. Admittedly, they've done it once before. It's not, why can't they do it again? In fact, previously it was Brolin who did so much hard work. Well, now he's got himself an AUG and he's been set up, being set up for success. Spotted and beheaded. The AUG falls to JW. Are you mad, man? Cool your jets. Cool your jets.
Well, they want that AUG. I would too. That's an upgrade right there for Zywo and a half. But unfortunately, JW's...
Oh, JW.
He's in a very...
Just blend in, JW. Don't worry about it. Ooh, he's gone away with a bit. Nah, it's gone.
Okay, so now it's just 2 Deagles and a CZ75. At this point, it's not looking great for fnatic on this force buy. They're dying one at a time. They're being whittled on down, and that kill doesn't really net fnatic a lot in terms of stock within this round. Zywo's upgraded to the AUG. They have an AK Galil and a Mac 10, and now as they corral back around the map, you have fnatic looking for info. That's Flusher pushing long, seeing nothing home. You've got Golden patrolling the site, and meanwhile, that means Crims, all on his lonesome down here, has a lot of Vitality players to deal with, all 4 of them through Monster. This is gonna get
Crims.
sticky.
Roll it back. Oh, don't. Chocks barrels on through. We have Golden and Flusher. Golden gets greeted by Shocks. The second doesn't come cleanly. If that was clean, then maybe you'd enter, you know, a 2v2 or a 1v2. But Flusher, with that Galil, does have limited options. Obviously no kit, so timing is just dwindling very swiftly. And obviously, keeping control of that might be more valuable.
Yeah, but I was just looking at the Star Wars opening text, seeing if I could do something with that if we did get another force buy round back, and then I could, you know, build some story. But I was just reading through the Phantom Menace's text when they kick it off.
Okay.
Because when it came out, we were kids.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I never liked Star Wars when I was younger because I was, you know, one of those more outgoing, popular kids when I was young.
Sorry.
I know.
Yep.
And I thought that was what weird, smelly kids watched.
Wow, Laura.
I know. And I've later in life embraced the weird smelliness and have really enjoyed watching all of Star Wars. Like, I'm very into it now.
Even the Phantom Menace?
All of it.
Okay.
Every single bit of it. Like, I'm a dweeb for lore.
You're a
like,
dweeb
I've gone
lore.
deep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm just reading here that turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. And that's kind of what we're seeing here with the financial disparity, as I think we can look at...
Are you disrupting the trade lines?
Well, they are, definitely. That's what the terrorists are here to do.
That taxation is quite hefty.
Yeah. Well, look, they are in Germany, and you and I both lived here before. We know how the taxation can be.
You don't live here anymore.
I live in Malta.
Oh, Flusher, let's see what you got. T's taking all your hard-earned money. And Zywo being a big proponent of that. Nade goes through. JW on the catch.
See you, mate.
Whoa, those 2 nades as well. RPK just sent 1-2 towards Golden. So
the catcher's mitts out.
nice and easy.
Well, they want to be at a wedding and catch the bouquet either way.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mop up on aisle B as old mate Brolin will fall last to RPK and Vitality up to a quick 4-1 lead. Now the start of Attack of the Clones, Lauren. There is unrest in the Galactic Senate. Of course there is. Those bloody
Senate.
politicians.
Yeah. Always up to something.
Yeah, several thousand solar systems have declared their intentions to leave the Republic. So is that a bit like the UK leaving the EU?
Yes, it's
Okay.
Brexit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know who messed up there, didn't we?
We don't talk politics
Well, we're
on stream,
both,
do
we're
we?
both
Religion.
British. We're both
and-
British, so
Well, you denounce your Britishness until you need our passport, then it comes
Precisely.
reeling back in.
yeah. And,
Absolutely filth.
well, I don't know. Who's
Rebel scum
how
over
can we
here.
bring the Senate into this one, Lauren?
Ooh, it's
we
a bit of a
crowbar that?
stretch. It's a stretch. I'm sure Alex. We could work with Alex.
I mean,
might
I think
brainstorm.
we need to get the Naboo. Naboo?
Yeah, all right, Jar Jar Binks. All right, roll it here.
Oh dear.
That's a nice triple there from fnatic. Brolin with 2, JW taking down Zai Wu, and well, Brolin's going to continue to get some more done. His old mate Shoxy, he's looking a little bit like Luke Skywalker right now.
Fudge.
Oh, and like the mess that was left on the old spice mines of Kessel. Alex returns to the desk and water gets
Makes a
thrown.
mess of him, everything around him. Can't be trusted anywhere he goes.
I just love that you're so refined as a person. Like, you look beautiful, you dress well. Like,
Thank you.
know, you've got it. Like on first, like face value, you're like, wow, he's got himself together. 10 minutes in, he's smeared in toothpaste. He does that, and then he's dropped a beer somewhere.
I'm a shambles of a human being.
But now we need to get into episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. War! ! The Republic is crumbling under attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord, Count Dooku. There are heroes on both
watch out for
sides.
him.
Evil is everywhere. So the heroes of fnatic in the last round, ladies and gentlemen, was Brolin over towards that bathroom position. And Vitality, they'll be looking for a hero of their own this time round, as braving the flames will be Zywoo.
Ooh, they're all burning. They've just lost 100 damage, spread nice and evenly among some of their hardest hitters.
May the flames be with you, Zywoo.
Okay, Chad, I'm going to just put a little pin in that.
These aren't good. These aren't.
We'll come back to it. We'll circle back around to the whole Star Wars references, but let's just refine them first.
All right, this is where we do our best work, though.
I think so,
right?
yeah. I am intrigued by the whole kind of overpass setup. The tables and chairs on the roof there do seem questionable. I'm not sure what kind of destination it would be. Now, Crims is going to teach us all a pop flash for sure. Look at that. Easy peasy. Shox is tucked in. They procedurally eliminate all the other threats. If he gets the timing, it could be Golden's death, and it is. Oh, nice. Freebie delivered. 3 spotted.
What does Brolin do with this? How do you... Yeah, I don't know what you're meant to do when there's that much pressure coming your way. I guess JW's got another idea of how to deal with it, but again, utility comes in. Whether or not they assume this is clear, that could be a problem. But yeah, JW's going to at least take one with him, but it's overwhelmed, and Crims loses life for it. RPK's finding a bit of form now.
Well,
Okay,
It's just a cafe, isn't it? Yeah.
Midterm means middle, so it's the cafe in middle.
Oh, okay. Well, that was easy. You think they had a German on staff, or they had to outsource for that level of information?
I think
they
Google
probably-
Translate's probably
yeah.
done that quite well.
And I know that the Kinder Spielen Park, or whatever it's called, is a children's play park.
Kids playground, yeah.
Yeah. But we're back into round 8. That's the end of your Duolingo sponsored lessons. Thank you for coming.
So,
Ooh, that's the smoke to put out the molly. I'd always wondered how it was working out. Does nothing, of course, when there's no Molotov.
oh,
Golden's made the deagle work. Now we've got a problem.
AK as well. And even more damage onto Apex. And it looks like Vitality have clear intentions of ending B. This could be problematic.
It could. Shouldn't be. Flusher would have to hit a 1 dig, and he has. So now things do get sketchy. This is not what the French want. Oh no, it's a disaster. The rifles peak. Masuta trying to save the day, but he's lost his life too. Zywoo forced into a clutch scenario with 3 to find. He does well to find Crims, and with the first frag, we lose the X-ray. Now living in the eyes of Zywoo himself. Threats are plenty. Bomb to be retrieved as well. He's got a minute to play with. All the util he could possibly desire. You can see his procedural crosshair placement and jiggle peaks. Now, with the smoke, Chad, where are you dropping that? You dropping it on the bomb? You're planting?
Sandbag.
Sandbags and plant?
Yeah, because the problem is the flanks are an issue, and you want to try and draw something out. If you drop one smoke over towards that sandbag position, he has to also worry about the pit as well. So there's a lot of problems right now for Zywoo. and they haven't locked him in completely. There was a chance for him to have escaped. So the longer he waits, maybe they over-rotate, but fnatic is staying stoic, and now that he's known, he's taken down by JW. So that was perfect, because that was actually episode 4, A New Hope. And I feel fnatic winning that round is going to give them a bit of hope.
When I was trying to think of a really fun way to flame people in chat who, be like, casters are garbage, they talk about other things, but then you keep doing this, Chad, and it's very tricky. It's very tricky to defend ourselves.
I thought we were doing this thing where we weren't caring what people at home were saying.
I thought I'd covered that. I'm not going to cover it again.
No, I know, but the problem is...
There's no problems.
The mistake you're making is listening to chat. Like they say...
I like them sometimes,
I know,
though,
but, you know...
We have to also clarify for this...
No. There's no more clarification.
Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take a compliment from.
We're here.
Well, I understand the theory, but again, we do have to cater towards all kinds of brain power out there.
I know, but they can't seriously comprehend.
We're here for 9 weeks. We're not talking about this anymore, okay?
Imagine.
It's off the table.
All right, back to Star Wars, Chad.
We're going to pin it. I can pin Star Wars as well. I can pin both conversations, all right?
Do your job properly.
No, we're leaving it. We're going to spiral out of control, all right?
90-minute football match, casters. They can stay serious the whole time.
Wait, no.
My...
Day 1, we're not going back there. I refuse.
Right.
I refuse.
Right.
Dad is putting his foot down.
Why did Lauren plant that seed? Why is she
Because
bringing
she's
it back?
evil.
Whoa.
Oh, I get so... Honestly, anyone that has that opinion...
No.
Message me directly.
Love.
I will give you my
DMs are
time.
open.
Let's
Please.
spread love.
Talk to me.
Let's spread love.
Reach out directly.
Rush
at
help,
Machine
Rush.
GG.
Rush, help us.
Give me your specific paragraph as to what my commentary has done
Rush,
to bother
Rush,
you, and I
please
will
help.
happily engage in a full conversation.
Rush, help us.
But they can't have full conversation.
No, Lauren, I need you to stop. We're going to spread love now.
Literally,
We're having a 3-way domestic on it right now.
The
Please,
scum on the
please.
top of the tap personified. That's what you are.
I'm having a hard time. All right, let's all take a deep breath. I want everyone just to calm down.
I'm fine, dude. I'm
relax.
Gucci.
And we're back in underway as Vitality look like their intention is to end towards the B-bomb site once again.
Yeah, and actually, you got a good inkling that Flush's Incendiary will be perfectly timed. They're forced to flash in the flames, and a double kill, make it a triple. Crims has added his name to the feed as well. This one's just fallen flat as a pancake. End of that one. 4 to 5. Triple kill from Flusher. Happy to see more from him. And a new experimental camera angle. I wonder if that's a little too creative for those
Could we
in
see
the
that
chat.
again? I wasn't sure about that.
This is a peeping Tom camera angle here. This one
feels like the boost, but not quite.
It feels like we're being very voyeuristic.
Yeah,
You know?
we're in the bushes looking at that CT buy.
Let's not carry on. Okay.
The awkward silence that none of us could fill. We are back into this, but obviously you can see the purchase that comes out of the T side, and as much as, yes, we have seen the pistols do work, there really shouldn't be too much to write home about. Already the touch of the molly brings Zywu down to 68 HP, and the CT is just going to expend a bit of utility early on to try and see if they could hinder anything.
Now, for fnatic here being down 4 to 5 on the CT side, this one is a must.
Sorry, JW was lining something up I got excited by. Zywu flirting with the long info. If he was to do anything with a Glock, you would be completely against the odds and against the lay of the land. JW taking some fights here and winning them out nice and neatly. Spray is going to connect onto Masuta as well. So it's just the Desert Eagle. Shouldn't go too far for Shox. He's just going to give it a good go. Could have a chance onto Brolin. Doesn't hit that first shot, so these AKs are preserved. This is where I start having a good feeling for Fnatic CT momentum here.
Yeah. The fact that they're not wielding an AWP at the moment here as a necessary means to shut down Vitality is a good sign. And if they can continue to keep it clean when those B pieces come in, well, that's one massive attack that Vitality won't be able to go to anymore. Now they might have to go to something where they're aiming for that map control and playing within those mid rounds. And we have seen in the past, we are rolling back the years here a little bit, but Brolin can go hyper aggressive over towards that fountain position up in towards playground as well and take a lot of duels. He will be, this time, aggressive and assisting JW, who's also forcing forward with Golden on long. So this is going to be a big biff over towards playground.
Ooh, JW. That's position noted. Zyu's already found Golden. That's... Oh, it felt like the intention was there, but the execution just kind of fell flat. So acutely aware of what they were trying to achieve. The T side just take a second to pause and they just destroy 2 players.
Now, Brolin's still forward here, so might be able to catch a couple of stragglers in case Vitality push without their diligence, but RPK seems to have a very good idea of what's going on. Timing, good. Brolin finds one, needs to find another as Zyu's shoulder was spotted peering around the corner. This is still winnable for fnatic, even though they are a man down. They've been able to get away. Decent chunk of utility, still holding onto both bomb sites as Krim searches forward. Very stalled out for a big advantage early on Vitality's side. 50 seconds. Back towards B they go. Looks like a retake's in play.
It's wide open. I don't really fancy Flush's chances holding such a tight line. It feels like it's more information driven than it is anything else. You can see how camouflaged he is on that shelf. Great camera.
This is a hard shot.
It's a very hard shot. And he does tap away at Shocks. Fair play. Now looking for Apex and good damage inflicted. He's trying to slow down Masuta and he is doing magnificent work. A passive hold, but a beneficial one. fnatic have got enough done. There is a very small chance here for Masuta. He has found Crims, and a flash and a second duel would be necessary. Flusher still up in the heavens, and Masuta wants to challenge. Oh, he's gone to something. Tags him. 8 seconds, has to plant, fakes it. Going for the frag, well played. 4 seconds, need to hold it. He has got it down in time. 18 HP.
Brolin's creeping closer, so Masuta's timing is going to be uncomfortable. Does he check thoroughly? No, he's going to be unawares, and from the side, Brolin's there. Well played in the end by Brolin, but that was a very strange round. That initial foray looked incredibly good for Vitality, but then they stalled out.
Well, it was because of Brolin's position over towards that flower bed, the bench area. Balloons party, we're calling it a bunch of different names, but his kill basically forced them away. They didn't want to give up any more casualties or any more play in to take him out of the picture and just went for the trades out on towards the B site. So I want to say that Brolin's position alone forced them into that B play, forced them into the hands of Flush's off angle, and from there Brolin had to close things out in a one-on-one, but still the round will fall on the board for fnatic. But guns back out. Vitality here purchasing on through. They have 2 AKs, one for ZywOo, one for Apex. And this is what we were talking about with Na'Vi buys and the way that Na'Vi tend to approach the game. You know, they'll always have these janky buys where you're seeing them always looking threatening, and this is one of those situations. Because with the loss bonus coming forward in the next round, Shocks, Masuta, and RPK will all be able to buy into AKs, whereas ZywOo and Apex will be a little bit shy, potentially having to go down to those Galils. But it's still going to be threatening. And if they get a Deagle kill and an AK kill, pick up another rifle, okay, hold up a second.
Well, that's going to slow them right down. They did actually find the AWP. ZywOo won't be able to recover that, though. Good control from Crims as he jumps to confirm there's more long action. Rotate's coming in now. Gets really difficult for Vitality because they're kind of forced into this commitment. That smoke's got... Wow. Good one towards Optimus. Worked out nicely. Good shots as well from Apex. Perhaps there's a world where they can make this bomb plant work. Good flash. And he brings the fight to the magnificent double. Mantling onto the bin, changing the dynamic, and now Brolin from behind is getting caught, and that is how you turn around. 180, it looked like a disaster. The necessary frags coming in. Oh, damn, Vitality gifted around. Apex takes it.
Yeah, and that was exactly the type of buy I was talking about, right? 2 AK-47s and 3 upgraded Deagles with a little bit of armor behind them, and it wasn't a lot to work with, but once they find a kill and are able to take that space and then pick up more rifles, it becomes more and more potent. Now, worst case scenario, your AKs die and then the pistols gets locked out, but here Vitality are able to use their individuals to, well, force their will. And now, as the buy is coming through into round number 13, both teams are fully invested. No AWP on the Vitality side of things. JW now having the big green of his own, and Brolin wants to continue forward patrolling this area on his lonesome. Lots of responsibility for the youngster of fnatic, but he's definitely more than a safe pair of hands. Rotation is coming back over from Crims now, so they will just go into the standard 3-2, but JW's been tagged down. How does he get away?
Would you rather lose a toe or a finger, Chad, if you had to lose one?
Toe.
Toe?
Every day of the week.
Yeah?
Doesn't it mess up your balance quite badly?
I know your little toes got a lot. Flusher's got a lot in the round. A double. Shocks just equalized the transfer. Flusher finally finds his third. Chaos on the B site. ZywOo should have something here, but oh my god, even with 16 HP, he connects his spray. Flusher's on for the ace. It's likely it's his. It's a one-on-one. Both so low. Flusher's looking pretty chaotic and he gets it. That is a real rewind from Flusher, reminding us what he's capable of on that B site. A full ace from the barrel's position upon the Vitality attack.
Now this is Pog Racing, as our producer Matt Herving put in the chat with another Star Wars reference, Lauren.
I don't mind them when they're quite well placed.
Do you like that one?
It was better than...
Better than A New Hope.
Well, It was then going to be followed by the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Of course.
Haven't watched the 3 most recent movies.
Why not?
Didn't interest me.
What, Star Wars?
Yeah, it didn't interest me.
There was a girl and I hated her.
Chad the woman hater. Yeah, that's me.
Anyway, misogyny aside, time for some Counter-Strike. Bullets.
Oh,
guns.
gosh. Oh, I'm just messing with you. Apex is the only real damage dealer as such. If you want to look at the AK as the other one.
Esports rife with toxic masks.
The AK has been filtered back. 3 Shocks now gets it to hand at least. So there's still a bit of play here. You got to keep your eyes on those two. Maybe facilitating something that could be set up by Masuta.
I'll miss your tutar in a minute. 8 dubs, gone incendiary. That's incendiary. Lots of syllables, not so much in the bullet department yet. He's dropped it very prematurely. Ooh, burning himself as well.
Oh, that's not nice.
That's no fun for anyone. That is, though. He does pluck the head off of RPK, and look who's there to survive and thrive. Golden getting 1. JW finishing things off, and actually it works out quite wonderfully for him as he secures the 8th for fnatic. They're on the 4K margin, so it's not ideal. A timeout called. That's a tactical timeout called by the US Air Force sponsor. Don't know. It was something else yesterday. I've got to know.
It has changed, yes. The sponsors are different, that's for sure.
Oh God, I wanted like a full week off, man.
We're still here. Look, as long as they don't get fed up of us, that's all right.
I was talking to Henry last night about a holiday I want to go on to.
Okay.
Very excited. Yeah, and actually, like going to an airport and travel. Obviously, once the global issue is over,
Yeah.
but, like traveling just to relax.
Well, we don't
You know what I
often
mean?
do that anyway.
No.
When was the last time you did that anyway?
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like, not just tacking on an extra week.
Just before the world shut down, I went to Austria for a skiing week.
Oh, was that nice?
Thoroughly enjoyable. Like just every day waking up and knowing you didn't have to go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be lovely.
Look, if the world wasn't ending again, I was thinking about going on a ski trip, but it's getting worse again out there. So.
Yeah, we've got to hunker down and just enjoy the Counter-Strike. And if it keeps going like this, I'll be quite happy. However, JW might not be. An initial smile turns to a grimace as he does die to the Molotov. And now, I can really tell I've been listening to...
If you were Masuta, do you think at some point you'd look at your name and be like, maybe I don't need
3 A's?
3 A's anymore? Like that was...
He's probably got until he plays a major.
That was the old me.
Yeah.
Maybe the new him can just be
1A.
Masuta.
But maybe he wants it enunciated that way. Okay, bomb's been heard. It's been picked up. Brolin is in close to call this out for the rotation.
Oh, he's got his timing really mapped out, actually. There should be a very big window unless Shox goes for the short pipe, which no one wants to do.
Look at this, 2 going up long as well. So they've actually stacked over towards B off of this information. Brolin's seen the bomb. They just have to worry about the flank coming through spawn. I would go for a knife kill if I was Brolin. Come on,
Oh,
mate.
he's this close.
Come on.
Oh, you are just...
He never does
He is insatiable.
The anti-fun police.
Honestly, Samuelson's got to pull him aside and say, that was $1,500.
Listen, mate, this is fnatic, and we have fun here.
Last round of the half. I can't fault him. Zywoo could do something with this, though. He's got the element of surprise, at least into the first, but Golden's no slouch. And it's a 9-6 half. fnatic keeping things competitive heading into their T side. Overpass continues in just a moment.
too hard, it don't come easy. I went dark, I lost it right away. And when it starts, God knows what I'll say. In my head, I had good reason. I went red so unexpectedly. I should have said that sometimes happens to me. It was a moment of darkness, a moment in time that I regret for being so heartless. It was a moment of darkness. Moment of darkness. Moment of darkness.
What's going on? It's your boy Machini TV. We're back live for another fantastic Counter-Strike engagement. It is Fnatic and Vitality. It is the third map, and Chad Sponge Birchall's here to keep me warm in these cold nights. How are you, Chad?
I love being the big spoon, Alex.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with the whole kind of Baby Yoda strategy, being the backpack to your Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I can handle it. I don't mind it. It's comforting in a different way.
I'm not as hairy as I look.
You're not. I mean, Counter-Strike is, of course, a video game, and that's what we're talking about here today.
All right, well, GG.bet odds have swung in favor of Fnatic now. So interesting as the tables are not completely
Turns have
turned.
tabled. There's no doubt about it.
Wiki. All right, well, Flusher, P250, no armor behind that. We'll get a touch of damage. Golden has gone for the pistol round deagle. If you don't love to see that, I don't know if I can call you a Counter-Strike fan.
Golden, I haven't seen the days of a deagle like this since back in the day when Cash was in the map pool. Nico would take it for his A-main fights down towards the truck. Oh, it's ambitious.
All right, well, they know it's in play now, as Zywu is going to be kept on notice. Just tickled on down, 7 points of health lost there. And as we muster forward, Golden's still leading the charge. So equalizing the long-range duels against the USPs with the deagle is one way of going about things, but Golden needs to land some shots. Instead, he's actually taking damage himself.
I've seen what he can do with the deagle, though, Chad. He's no slouch on this rifle. I was about to call it a rifle. Practically is in his hands. There's another one. And there's a third. Oh, my goodness. He's landing every bullet he fires. 2 bodies dropped. Tags handed out. And the deagle on the pistol has net them a pretty solid reward. Shox has got a lot to do here, and it's the Glock duel that works out for Fnatic. They're on for a spotless pistol round here, and by dropping that smoke, his deagle continues to rattle out fear.
Scary.
It is. Oh, dearie me. RPK, he's got himself 2. He'd need an ace, though, and I think he's also realistic in his expectations for this round. He just wants another one. JW likely to get the timing here. Yeah, that looks...
Oh, the knife.
That looks
surely, yeah. But
it's
out.
Vexel knife kill.
I'm just trying to back off so he could get there in time, but he'll finish off the frag, and RPK goes down. Round 10 on the board for Fnatic. And interesting approach there. It was a P250 on Flusher to deal with B aggression. It was Golden on the deagle finding 2 massive openings. That's very unique to see, indeed. You definitely don't see this every day of the week, or even any day of the week. This is different stuff coming out here from Fnatic, and we do talk about them as meta breakers alongside the Furia boys over there currently residing in North America. The force buy will come out from Vitality. If they lose this one, they're going to be in hot water fast. And not a spa bath, but more like a pot of boiling water, and they're a lobster. No lobsters were hurt today on the broadcast.
It's good news.
Yet.
There is time. There's time for this to work out well. RPK finding Golden out of nowhere. This is looking scary.
Yeah, they could actually lock this down now. That's a weapon lost. Apex has taken so much room. Look at the amount of space he's denying by pushing up to Playground so early. They can stack. Surprised they haven't. Of course, there's a gap. Connector to B, connector to A is a viable route. Re-smoking Monster, though, that will enable some freedoms. And the spray from Crims reveals what they already knew. Shots on short as well. Really is confirming things.
It's definitely stalled them out, hasn't it? It's now having to really make them think about this. Molly towards the barrels, bit of damage again. ZywOo finding Brolin.
Dear, this
is it. It
these are
feels
the kind
like
of rounds where Vitality do completely seize control of a half. By doing so, against the AKs, you can see they've got absolutely nothing. 1,400 loss bonus. This will put fnatic on nothing for the next. They're going to need to try and find something. The more bodies they drop, the less weapons can be recovered. There's a lot of AKs lying around here. Crims to try and claw things back. Precise into the first.
not taking too much damage, does
Up
at least.
in the smoke, he's screwed.
Oh, yeah, shadow and all. Nothing. Okay, AKs.
This is where the Star Wars conversation started, guys. I just want to point that out, just for context, because of the Force Spy Wars, Star Wars, you know, trying to bring that in as the reference point. I won't go back there. As Vitality, I'm not sure if fnatic will want to go back towards their B site any time soon. And this is where it's going to be curious, because if fnatic, now that they're in the throes of this, opt to go for an eco, it will be a double eco. So they have 4 sport. That $1,400 loss bonus doesn't leave you with too many options. And here it's a scout for Crims, Deagle for the majority, and JW with a P250. Armor, light utility, but not a lot to work with for fnatic here. So it is likely we see the Frenchmen go up to round number 8, and that should net them a free round number 9, or close as you'd like. Because going into the next round, if fnatic are unable to keep this one dangerous or save anything across, they will be limping in with nothing. It'll be the $1,900 loss bonus. They'll have to respect the fact they don't have a lot of cash to work with and take that save. But they've been given a lot of space here within the early stages. Straight up through Fountain, not being forced, not being jiggled upon, not being made to work for this. They're just able to walk on forward. Smoke dropped out already on that A side of things. That's going to come out of the hands of ZywOo, the danger man with the AK, over towards the dice boxes.
Oh, Shox also has that AK towards long as well. A is looking very well defended. Quite tricky, I'm sure. Bit of a spot. Oh, beheading. Shox crisp as ever. Crim's looking to maybe find ZywOo. If he would go for that jump peek again, he might be in danger. But I feel as though ZywOo knows better than to risk it again. Flashes, limited utility put to play. Apex going to get contact. ZywOo with the shutdown on the first through. Wanted the follow-up, but maybe overextended for it. Brolin's managed to punish, but now Shox gets very close here. Creeps in. Shot through the smoke. RPK quick to it. Not bad at all. Quick stuff from RPK. And the AK should be able to be picked up again.
Good plant, though. That's one tick in the box for fnatic here. Might see them now come into the round with some deagles or something a little bit more threatening. I just want to post a little bit more context on this matchup right here. This is the opening game of Group A. The other matchup that we had going on was Complexity taking on G2. And Complexity, surprisingly, with NATO Safik standing in, were able to pick up the 2-0 even over that of G2, who are now on a, 7 series losing streak? Six series losing streak right now. So G2 definitely in some trouble. So the winner of this will play Complexity, and the loser of this will play against the other Frenchman.
G2 lost?
Yeah, handedly.
Tremendous.
Yeah, it was a 19-17 Vertigo loss and a 16-13 Overpass loss, but remember NATO Safik standing in, so that little
yeah, that's quite the caveat.
Right,
that's quite a huge result for Complexity, to be fair.
Yeah, blame F and Config with a massive game on Overpass, and I didn't actually check the stat lines on Vertigo. Let me take a look right now. It was Config and blame with huge games again, so...
If it means, if more pressure on Complexity means that Config feels he has to shine a little brighter, I really like that idea. I love to see Config finding big form. I think he's one of the players that he hit a peak, but I don't think it was ever the best of him. So I'd love to see more of that going forward.
Now this is an unlikely round for fnatic to be winning here, but a note is ZywOo taking some early damage with the AWP. We won't have to narrow in too much on that because you can tuck in, play these more passive angles, and still be able to find a lot of damage. Now, jump peeking Golden isn't going to see a lot. Meanwhile, you're getting Shox also pushing forward. He has JW and Brolin to deal with. Crim's not too far behind, and Golden now coming over as well. So, oh, he's spotted one, and that's a huge headshot.
Yeah, he might have a second here as well. They are re-peeking, and Brolin's done well to best him. Quick reactions from ZywOo, though. He's not done, despite his low HP. Jumping. Spots another. And on the rotate into the loving embrace of Apex. He's got a second as well with the spray. Good control. Flasher. He's on the wrong side of the map, and the bomb there in CT control. So with 20 seconds left, he'll just be patrolling, obviously rather not die after time. So either get a kill and go down in the next 15 seconds.
Have you seen The Mandalorian, Chad?
No. I think I watched the first episode. That was about it.
Didn't like it, or?
I don't know. I've been watching anime like a weeb, Lauren, so I haven't really had any time for the real life
Other
stuff.
TV.
I need to dig my teeth into a new series. I do.
Have you seen The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. New season's coming out
It
soon.
was more, I think it was more kind of, you know, artistically driven than it was story driven. It was,
Yeah.
you know, like going on quests. Like,
For sure.
oh, we're off to this planet now, and you do your daily, and then you go.
You already did that in the World of Warcraft, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. But World of
Baby
Warcraft's
Yoda,
kind of dead
very
now.
cute.
Come down the
though.
Cowboy Bebop route with me. You
Maybe.
were enjoying the animes.
That was an old-fashioned one. I did really enjoy Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oops. Sketchy monster smoke, not as deep as they may have liked. Flush is going to smoke out the short pipe, and Apex, could have lost his life there. The spray's not too
Oh.
shabby. Apex caught and pushing is Masuta. 1 for 1. Could have been more. Hey, Shocks, that's ambitious.
Wow.
He just lackadaisically crosses the corner and
Very pushy.
very pushy. Push a bit, little bit, roll it out. Take a hit.
All right, as this mid-round stalls out a bit, we can serenade you guys at home with anything that's not copyrighted.
Someone did request a song earlier. I can't
Yeah, is it
remember what
Sarah?
was. No.
What's Sarah attached to? When do we play her?
I think that's Pro League, right?
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, IEM has different tunes.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the we've stepped away from your kind of your royalty-free Monster Cat D&B.
Well, apparently people just like E-League playing the same song over and over again. So.
Don't they like that in League as well? The Silver Scrapes, whatever it
Yep,
is.
you play that one for the 5th map of a best of 5.
I see.
I learned. JW's got himself a nice little kill, which does look like they'll convert as the rotate comes in from Apex. 27 HP. Certainly doesn't sound like a recipe for success. Oh, the flashes are good. He's caught in limbo. He does well to find a frag, but it's still too much for RPK to process. Oopsie.
Oh, sound
Tank.
made.
Does adjust his crosshair, but it came at such a great cost. He's going to have to just back away.
Yeah, that one right there is one that RPK, if he was on 100 HP, we could make an argument for him going for it, and maybe he'd even think about it. But with 5, that's 1 bullet. He'll be taken out of the round, and that AK-47 is going to be better suited going forward. Just take a look right now at Vitality's money situation. RPK with 7K, he's going to need to drop a gun across to Zywoo. So if he holds on to this AK, gets the loss bonus for this round, he'll be able to drop an AWP for the big man himself. Money should be enough for Shocks, Masuta, and Apex to get more than a buy on the round. And Crims will actually be picking up that AWP to throw that across towards JW in the following. So things are going to be looking good for both sides going into round number 21. Fnatic just with the lead here, 11-9. Close series. No 2-0s on the A stream today. As over on the B stream now, OG versus Big. That one has already kicked on off. They are playing on Inferno, Dust 2, and Nuke as the decider right there. OG's picked Inferno, Big's picked Dust 2, and Nuke was left over, decided by Big, who removed Mirage.
I'd be very sketched if I'm OG going into a 3rd. Their nuke has been uninspiring.
Yeah, average at best, I would say.
All right, back off to the races, rinse and repeat. Your usual split, early battle for control. The nade does land on Flush's front doorstep, though. That's from, I believe it was Apex, throwing that one out. No, he's still got his.
Just a note there, with JW pushing up sandbags so quickly and firing out a shot, that will force Vitality to use out a lot of utility over towards this side of the map. But how did they land that, Apex?
That's lovely.
Massive dunk there onto Flusher, so that's almost a bit of a freebie to kick off this round. RPK low, searching towards B.
How often do you see a nade kill? Very, very uncommon. That is a bit of a problem. A gap, though, so they
that's
can
nice.
stand their ground. It's enough info for Crims. Just to confirm. And as they smoke out themselves, it's Crims to try and creep and crawl their way through. Nade softens him up. Missed shot. Another. This time
Oi.
incendiary. Crims is locked in. You know what? He wants to find one. He does connect the wall bangs. It's enough to at least cause a little bit of a distribution of pressure. Golden's found the necessary frag. He will go down. No, he won't. Masuta's spray was wide. It's Shocks to try and keep things level. Try and keep things competitive. Bomb's already going down. They're both coming from the same direction. He does have a good inkling as to Crims, but
Wow.
Rolling no punches. Needs a double. GW with the AWP firing off a shot. Roland, though, on the sandbags. He's not giving any respite.
Did Golden do that?
Swing
That
up to Apex
second.
was big, yeah, and the Masuda one was even bigger. And I think there you have Brolin playing on a bit of a jungle gym, jumping up on everything on the site right there, looking for that elevation, making that headshot angle that you could have been looking towards a little bit harder to find. As fnatic now will post 12 rounds on the board, and here's Crims. As Alex mentioned, he was locked in. The Molotov behind him meant there was no direction but forward, and this first one here was huge. The swing and the readjustment from Golden was great, and then, well, Vitality, they weren't left with much to do. 21 kills for Brolin here, having a bit of a performance, as it will be the eco from Vitality. Flusher on that Mac 10 will be able to search around as JW posts up towards the underpass.
We haven't had our dearest Rush really yet.
Oh, Rush, take it away.
JW with a huge kill, simultaneous with Flusher. Firing the is there a name for the Mac 10, like the
Mac Daddy?
the sewing machine or something like that?
I think
That
we
sounds
just call it
about
the
right.
Mac 10.
Well, the Mac 10 does the work of the sewing machine and staples them all down. I think that kind of works, but JW probably...
Look at
That's
this
a
angle.
tight gap right there. That's a tight line, as they say. But Crims open up the B site. The bomb can go down. They don't know it's fully clear. Crims is aware that, ooh, that could have been slightly dicey for Crims as he was lining up this little smoke. But JW secures the round there with the big green. Running away now, down the stairs, step by step.
You are such a
Fnatic are
cliche.
pulling this game pretty well. JW knows as well.
I've never looked up. You can see all the little windows.
It's nice, actually.
You can
yeah.
see the chandeliers.
Knife coming in. That looks unlikely, but you're not going to expect that. If I go there, I'm not expecting that. So respect to J-Dubs.
Thank you,
Respect.
Rush.
Put respect on his
Yeah,
name.
respect on that.
I love hearing from Rush. It just makes me smile.
There's a new thing that Rush told me about the other day. Rush, can you
Oh.
confirm? What does it
Go
mean
on.
if someone stands you?
Oh, a stan. Comes from more K-pop things. Like I'm.
Comes from K-pop, does it?
Well, actually, I think so. I'm pretty sure. Lauren, if you know more, I'm not actually 1,000,000% on that.
I'd say your bias comes from K-pop,
Are you
but
familiar with the works of Eminem?
Stan, yes, I am.
That
actually,
is where
yes.
Stan comes
He never
from.
wrote me back. It was kind of sad.
Yeah,
actually.
so you
Oh.
are familiar with the track.
Yeah, definitely so. Big track, big tune.
Do you imagine it might have something to do with
Oh.
the crazy fan
You know
called
what,
Stan?
Alex? You might actually be right with that. If that's true,
That's a throwback.
That's pretty good.
it is. It is.
Why are they using it these days if they're throwing back?
Because
12
that
years
was
ago?
such an iconic track
Yeah.
describing a crazy fan that it's now used as a catch-all for overly enthusiastic fandoms.
Okay, that's
If I
cool.
had to guess, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're
That
bang on
sounds
about
right. That's pretty good, actually. I
I'm
like
glad we
that.
got to the bottom of this, and nothing has happened in the round so far. So
that. Again, you're welcome.
Yeah, I
The film.
stan Rush though, for sure.
yeah, I stand.
Yeah,
Rush.
yeah, yeah.
He doesn't reply to my emails. I try and pencil in a Counter-Strike date. Hey, Vertigo, 8 p.m. Just ghosts me. It's mad.
Rush is
played
also my
yesterday.
bias out of all the commentators as well.
Most bias.
That's like a K-pop thing.
That's the K-pop one.
Yeah.
If you have a bias for a band member, so like I said, Rush is my new haircut, wore the cute jacket today. Ooh.
So many parts of this world I'm just not ready to try and understand.
It's a whole different world out there.
This smoke is a little bit problematic. I think there's a gap for Brolin to kind of look.
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's Gucci or any other luxury brand.
He's been heard now as I was in trouble.
Oh,
The end of that. Great flash. Oh my goodness. Shox just jumps into their jaws, and Fnatic well on their way to converting this one. He wants the incendiary.
prison.
Ooh, well played. I don't know why I just started getting excited about him picking up an incendiary. That's what I've become.
He picked the lock, or he had to lube up his hand to get it through the bars.
you can see Alex's face. That's
So-
this analogy.
No, but fun story. When I was a little kid,
What did you?
So speaking of lubing up your hand, fun story.
child.
When I was a child,
No, but seriously, for a
Yeah.
second here, while Apex holds onto that weapon, I went to the store, like the grocery store with my mum one day, and I don't
Right.
know how old I was. I think I was probably sub 6, sub 6 years old. And anyway, I was playing on a bench, and I got my knee jammed in the bench, and an old man was coming out of the store, and we couldn't get me out. My knee was stuck. So we had to lube up my knee with margarine.
margarine,
Yeah.
otherwise known as margarine.
To get my knee out of the bench.
Oh my goodness. So there's a whole story about you with a knee slathered in margarine
Yeah, or butter. It could have been butter.
or a butter alternative.
Yes.
How about utterly butterly?
I don't think we have that down.
Can't believe it's not butter. Anyway, that's enough of our nonsense.
This is a bit of a nonsense round though, so it could continue
No, no.
unless Apex does something. Let's see.
Apex
He's got a
has
tag.
Tagged somebody.
Here we go.
At the end of my sentence, those nades might find
Granada.
nothing. Flusha.
Well, the giggles now.
You have.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I just
You're allowed to
envisage,
have
like,
fun.
adult Chad with his knee stuck somewhere.
Yeah, I just want to just envision him holding a whole block of butter.
Just
I wasn't holding
smearing
it.
on the thigh.
Someone else was
Some
sorting
old
me out.
man.
Oh, an old man, a stranger.
Oh, come on,
A
guys.
stranger
Bloody
slathering your
hell.
knee in.
Well, my mum was there the whole time.
No.
So.
All right. Adult supervision. Flusher might need a little assistance pretty soon, though. 6 HP, he's got to be quite cautious on how he approaches this. Probably would like to keep that smoke for somewhere relevant. I'm trying to make this seem like it's going to be a problem. It probably won't be, though.
There's an E at the end of margarine.
Look, do you want me to bring the two of you back down to earth? I could do it. I could do it. In
I like it here.
I'm not interested.
All right.
Honest, Chad.
Let's stay on the moon then, shall we?
Stay on the moon.
We need Apex to do something here. Vitality,
Come on,
they need
Apex.
a round. If Fnatic post 15, it's not going to be looking good for the French. Smokes, flashes, nades. They come on over as Apex has his head ripped off.
Wow.
Thanks, Tosspot.
Thanks, guys.
Actually, not the worst case scenario if Shoxy gets flashed in. Oh, a chance, but babysat. Bomb down. Issues now for the French, and they will just go down to their likely and logical conclusions. It's finished off by a nice little multi-kill. Three kills for Crims in that round. Words are hard. 15-9, though. And it is a full buy from the CTs. Fnatic have strung together 5 consecutive rounds, 6 in total on this T side, and it's definitely not been enough for Vitality to weather the storm.
Well, this means if Vitality lose this round, or this game, we'll get G2 versus Vitality, and they might play Vertigo, which is about we definitely wanted to see a couple of weeks ago. 2 of the better Vertigo teams, both obviously struggling in recent times, but if we get to see them go toe-to-toe, could be a curious one there. And obviously the Frenchman, is always good to see Shox going up against the likes of Kenny.
Flusher, the pace on that, he's right through. Don't care about any of those smokes or mollies or whatever's been thrown their way. Information aplenty. Masuta needs to be careful now. Spam begins. Already RPK and Apex taking a fair bit of flack. Oh, bye RPK.
Is that the definition of flack?
I believe so, yeah.
Well, that's a rough way to go down. 3v4. Masuda needs a multi.
The first step, the second's there, but he can't get away in time. Zhao, however, has made it over, leaving it in the capable hands of JW. A 1v2 to close out the game for Fnatic. He's expended his utility, that's gone. And on the other side, a smoke remains for them in case required. Kit on Shox, but right place, right time. The bomb being watched carefully. JW head down to the ground, trying to remain undetected.
I did seem ballsy. Respect to J-Dubs for potentially looking like a tit there.
If I can't see that.
If we only stayed on his angle, we would never have known how silly it looked. Oh, boy.
It could have been 4D chess, but it was one-dimensional badminton.
Yikes. Okay.
That's brilliant.
Look at this. Hello.
So many kids playing hide and seek, they hide behind the curtains with their feet like halfway
Dropped his
out.
contact lens or something. He's got his face
Anyone
close to
seen
him.
it?
I can't see.
Oh my goodness. Regardless of contact lenses, it is going to be a bit more of a contact-driven play. Brolin looking for the fight. Hasn't been given anything. The smoke to deny info toilets, and he'll be throwing out his molly to continue to deny that full part of the map. CT aggression, a crucial component of Overpass, and you can see that Shox is the canary in the coal mine. He's so alone. But his sound cues, his death will be enough to incite a rotation. At the moment, it's already over there, though. It seems like Zhao and Apex are hedging their bets. All of this presence has forced out enough. A smoke in front of the site continues to keep their feet planted. And now the pivot. They're trying to boost. It's not going well.
Shox pushes forward right now. They have some real problems because they're going to lose all of this territory they had just taken. So,
from me,
yeah, bit of a fumble, but it will be the B-side finish. Flash over towards Sewer. Squeaky open, molly towards the barrels, and away we go.
looking good.
Oh, they missed the molly.
He did, but Masuta still has a chance. It's taken from him by JW. Fnatic with 40 seconds left start their final assault. The CTs preparing to deal with the Onslew. Onslew, that's not a word. And we continue to see RPK finding Brolin. Maybe Apex has got something to say.
Ooh.
Golden responds to 4-on-3. He's pushing straight into Flusher, but here's Shox. Multi. He gets away. He spotted another, chose not to take the engagement, and now ZywOo can hit the shot. Looks like Vitality are doing it. Forces JW into another 1v2. This time it's ZywOo. catching him on the repeat. A 3-frag round from the sniper keeps the French hopes alive.
I would love to be able to get a stat line going here of every single time that we see Shox and ZywOo alive in a 2-on-2 situation. They always seem to pull them out of their back pocket. And this one here was a big one to win, playing for each other very well after the early fray of kills towards the B side of things. But now, without that plant going down, we have to ask some questions about what Fnatic's buy will look like. 11 on the board now for Vitality as the Frenchmen continue to fight here against Fnatic's 15. One more round, and they will take this matchup and meet Complexity in the upper bracket of Group A for the GSL format we're rocking here in IEM New York. And looks like they're going to toss some pistols across here. So Crim's had a decent amount of cash. You can see Golden there also acting as a little bit of a bank. This will just be a partial investment coming through from Fnatic, knowing they'll get a big chunk of change, 2,400 in the next round. So keep your money at about 2.5-ish, and that means you'll be able to buy those AKs, armor, and utility going into round number 28. But we got to get past round number 27 first, and I'm sure that's what Vitality are hoping for is, well, their buy. It's been scrapped together. They've got 2 kits, a decent chunk of utility, and the AWP for ZywOo once more.
Okay, this is the kind of round that can really snowball. If Crims is to get a way in, I don't see how, though, because it's an M4. Yeah, okay. Flush has just shot Crims in the back of the head, so that's not the dream start, and Apex holding down Mouse 1 has won the round. Just like that. 15-12. Not sure how the team kill happened. Might have been in the chaos of the flashbang and swing.
Well, guns come out now. JW overspent. I think he thought he was going to get a pip more on his paycheck for this month. So just the AK and head armor won't have any utility. Crim's actually opting for that Krieg again. This is the second time we've seen him buy that. And I want to see if he can get anything done with it, because we know that these weapons have been nerfed, but I'm sure they're still serviceable in some environments. And Long, on a map like Overpass, is probably not a bad place to wield it. Molotov has missed. There was no one heading over towards Playground regardless, and Crims, there he is, chunked on down immediately. 44 points of health, the Krieg in hand, the scope as quick as you like. And looks like they're setting up for another B finish. So they have a bunch of Molotovs. We might see a potential Astralis execute come in with the mollies down towards Graffiti and CT, smoke towards the Heaven position. It's like a little bit more default. You get the smoke towards Heaven, a smoke on the site, smoke on the bridge, and away you go. There's a bunch of different options that they could be opting for here. But they will need to get past RPK, who's tucked on in very, very close towards the monster position. Has Apex as his sidekick. And then over here as well will be Masuta.
Looking more like a tower defense game at this point of how many times do Fnatic have to run this until they break Vitality, but they're holding on. 15-12. Shox could be influential, but the timing is everything, and it comes down to potentially ZywOo then on the other side, of course. On the side itself. And patience being shown, but the flash not quite good enough to get ZywOo gone. And that's now 2 kills. And once again, Vitality looking like they're ready to hold this. Crims and Flusher, Golden all left, but look at Shox closing in. So considered. That's the bomb now. Lost. Flusher knows he's in trouble. Outdoes one, but the rest looking a little too far away.
Falling flat here.
Completely. They know where he is as well. ZywOo could re-peek long anytime he wants. He's already tagged up Flusher.
I might have to save these. I don't think they should die. There's nothing they can really gain here. A save is the right call, but Crims wants more. 9 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I get the loss bonus wouldn't come on through, but they wouldn't have had enough to go for a buy anyway. We can see here 3.6, 3.2. If they held on to those weapons, they could have had the other 3 potentially invest in pistols, and then they could have had 2 rifles and a bunch of pistols. Then going into the next round, they would have had 3,400. So let's say they kept the 2 rifles, they upgraded the 3 Golden, JW, and Brolin into pistols, they found their way into a site, and they planted the bomb and lost the round. That means they would have had enough money to buy regardless. So that decision there from Fnatic, maybe not really considered in the context of this matchup, and now it will just be the pistols for everybody. But threatening as we like, and you know when you are a team like Vitality and you're battling back in, you make one mistake and Fnatic can capitalize. They have 3 HEs. Let's see where they choose to use those.
Keep eyes on it. As again, Fnatic still, I will always be scared of them on any upgraded pistol. Touch a little bit of armor towards them. Yeah, okay. Only 2 smokes though, and here are those nades, looking like they're mostly towards barrel. Yeah, all 3. No reward for it either. Masuta playing quite passive, but safe enough, ensuring he doesn't give away too much. Probably very aware that they're up against a weirder buy than expected. BW trying to go for the nutmeg here. just emerges through the smoke. But already Crims has
gap.
just been found. But yes,
Ooh.
JW has found a gap. Now, what does he do with this? Because he's got to know Shox is around. He's either been on long, in bathroom, somewhere around this matter. But while all this happens, we do have that pressure towards B.
If Shox falls back, JW can get a freebie, but it doesn't look like he's going to move at the moment. ZywOo still in transition right now, and pressure applied towards B. Good dink.
Dink.
1 HP, mad.
Well, there's a gap right now. They just need to live on the B side of things. Fnatic needs to slow it down. It's too late now. JW, that flank, it's all in vain. There was a tight window. There was an opportunity. But at this point, a 1-on-5 with only a deagle and 25 seconds remaining on the clock. I've seen some crazy things in Counter-Strike, but this would be the craziest. JW goes down. 14 on the board for Vitality. Overtime looking likely. And that's where we did find ourselves over on map number 2 of Vertigo. Fnatic eventually getting across the line there. And that's why we did see Overpass come through as the third. It's been a close series. 16-12 on Inferno, 19-17 on Vertigo, and now we're going the distance, 30 rounds minimum here over on Overpass.
Oh, the madness will start to set in soon.
I think it already has, Lauren.
Yes. Yes, it has. Oh, Fnatic it just feels like they're hitting a brick wall here. I don't know where the panache has gone.
Pizzazz, Panache, what else we got? Flare.
Sure. Rush, any good ones for us?
Pizzash.
Thanks, Rush.
All right.
I hate him so much. Oh, gosh.
Righty. Step right up. Get your last round of regulation here. Fnatic Team Vitality, map number 3, and away we go. The AK-47s are out. The utility is there as well, and both teams have a very, very juicy-looking bite. ZywOo shot, whiffing past there as Brolin gets control of the playground. Very important part of the map to hold on to, and they need to deal with Shox in these bathrooms. He's been a bit of a problem, especially as far as information is being concerned. Doesn't mean the frags have necessarily been coming his way, but holding onto all of his territory means that Fnatic aren't able to pull out too many fakes.
Nade goes in again. And Vitality are having none of it.
Yeah, you're right, though. Shox's positioning, even though it hasn't been too involved, has enabled them to play 3 quite tucked into B early every single round. So all this redundant utility they keep throwing, Brian likes to molly toilets, etc., smoke it off, doesn't really get them much. He's waiting in front of that smoke. It could fade. Info push. Masuta looking for info. Sure, nothing there. Shox still has a lot to do if this toilet's push keeps being spotted out. ZywOo going aggressive once the line. Not going to find anything just yet. It's a tight one held, and Shox under a lot of scrutiny. Crims assumed it was clear, did not come prepared. Now ZywOo has another chance. He seems to always find a double here, always finds at least one. He could never get a completely scar-free take. That's fine. Shox going down. Brolin's found it. But here's ZywOo continuing to be a nuisance. He's going to get Flusher as well. ZywOo just having no issues. JW looking to clutch up 1 versus 3. ZywOo finally knocked off his perch, and he does get a fake. Oh, good chance. Double peaked. 15-15. We're going overtime, folks. These teams are inseparable. We'll have to take a break. MR3 16K around the corner.
Rising out the ashes, coming from the ether. All I hear is static. Breathe a little deeper. Fallen, broken, a million light years away from home. My eyes opened, and now I've come to claim life. Oh, never let it go. These wings carry me. Live this fantasy. Running through the fire, gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Found me in the darkness. Now they see me shining. Calling me a goddess. Thunder and the lightning. I'm falling, I'm faster. Making my way back, I'm close to home. I'm fighting harder. Because I've come to claim my throne. Never letting go. These wings carry me. Live this fantasy. Burning through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Gonna let it burn. I'm running through the fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. And I live this fantasy. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Gonna let it burn. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah, Gonna let it burn. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place.
Right, 15-15. I can't imagine any other way this was going to start. Of course, these two teams were going to be inseparable. Of course, it was going to go 3 maps. Of course, we'd have had OT, and now we're going to have it again. Fnatic couldn't quite cross the line. Vitality just kept bloody going. That Shock's presence was a nuisance. It was a threat they couldn't really handle. ZywOo coming online in the best of times, and all those nades, all those intentions made nothing happen towards B, but we go right back in.
Yeah, 15-9. That's the lead that Fnatic flubbed here, and that's why we see ourselves going into overtime. So let's get her underway as sewer control is taken. Masuda boosted on up. He's actually made a sound cue right there, but in the flurry, it's not been heard. He'll take out flusha in the opening stages, and that's a number of advantages. Vitality continue to string these rounds together. That's 6 on the trot. Can they make it 7?
And they were struggling when they had 5 alive to make these count, and now make it down to 4 and flusha gone. So a bit of a loss, and no fact-finding mission towards the other side. We've actually got ZywOo this time leaning quite heftily towards B. Now, of course, with the double AWP, a lot of faith being placed in Shocks, but timing will be a factor. Spot towards Crim and a big tag to Crim's. I don't know why I cut that off short, but Brolin has found RPK, so a bit of a trade-out eventually.
Yeah, interesting information play there from RPK, considering there is a minute left on the clock. Smokes will be dropped now, held at bay are Fnatic, as they will be retooling for a B finish. They have 2 smokes of their own, 2 Molotovs, a HE, and double flashes. And with that, they can set up quite the potent execute. You've got Golden over here, about to smoke up towards that heaven position. Brolin hasn't actually limped his forward. The HE is going over towards barrels, and JW's taking down Masuda.
ZywOo's still present, though. Eyes trained, tag towards Golden. 2 of them now softened up, Crims and Golden, but he finds Brolin out of all of them. Now switch to the pistol. He knows he's done work towards these 2. Through the fire, through the flames, and he dies for it. And the 1v1 gets shut down by Shocks. It may not be the bathroom, but he's still finding presence wherever he goes.
Threw the kitchen sink at him at least there in a 1-on-2 situation to get round 16 on the board for Vitality. And that's probably one of the closest that Fnatic have had in some time. So continuing different approaches, different faces, different looks, but they've had a very, very tough time of it over towards this B side of things. That's 7 in a row now for the side of Vitality, and if they can win out the next 2, they'll be only needing 1 round on that T side of theirs, where they did manage 6 in the first half that was oh so long ago. Missed Molotov again. This has been happening throughout from Vitality, so when they review the VOD, there'll be a couple of holes, a couple of bits and pieces to go on over. As Apex this time on the boost. Last time it was Masuda, this time it was Apex, and both times it was flusha going down.
Nice shot from ZywOo. Might find a second here as well. It's only the leg shot. RPK finishes what his teammates started. Bomb loose, problematic. Smoke could be deployed here on Monster to lock them out, but he wants to fight instead. Have they got a flash? No, he just goes down, and the trade's not there. Masuda trying to dunk him. Nade looks good. Does finish off Brolin, puts JW into an unwinnable 1 versus 3. Bombs in the CT control. We do have the loose cannon in Shocks, who's just rotating in through T-spawn to lock out JW's freedoms. Masuta to finish things off. Vitality take the 17th and are in hot pursuit of finishing this one off in the first round of overtime. It would be a 3-0 should they find the final round of this defensive half. Back on the AWP, Zywoo. Shocks going for the second as well. So a double AWP, 2 AKs. Nice scavenging benefits.
They've realized what Fnatic's approach is over towards this B side, and that's the difference from regulation, is shifting Zywoo over to the B side, ready to fight through Monster with that AWP. Found some impact there. Really stalls out this attack. And while flusha going down in multiple occasions, maybe Fnatic want to go for a little bit of a Hadouken-style group nade onto the sandbag position so they can't die to those boosts as easily. Try and clear out those corners with the nades instead of walking on in and just being spammed on down, as we do have what appears to be a technical timeout.
Oh, good. I was hoping we'd have one of them.
So that's, oh, it's already fixed. We're back into things here. So it wasn't going to be a long one. We were about to go podcast mode, but 10 seconds left on freeze time, and we'll get this one underway. JW with an AWP on the other side of things, and maybe that's indicative of an A side approach. But I think Fnatic, they seem quite scared of that part of the map. Their approach hasn't been the quickest.
I feel like they haven't really found the answer to the Zywoo Shocks combo, right? That has been completely evading them, and Zywoo being a little different this time, switching things up. A little bit of a bonk on the head from the Molotov, but makes it out alive. He can readjust, as he did have Shocks posted up here.
So there's those nades I was talking about to deal with the boost. No one home to receive it this time, and Shocks is actually searching. So he's taken a lot of information, but on the other side is Brolin. This is all going to come down to the timing. Brolin makes a footstep. Shocks knows what's up right now, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Golden offers up the bomb. So Shocks, if he takes down Brolin, he knows he's here. Well, wasn't quite sure which side.
Yeah. Bomb confirmed elsewhere, though, and that's going to incite the rotate of 2 of them.
No joke, I know we're in overtime, but Google just suggested to me both of the results of the current matches going on. It even has the live scores and the series.
Pretty cool.
That's wild. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, they're starting to keep track. Good spray from Crims, gets the first.
This looks like the most likely round they could actually have.
Yeah, this should be theirs. There's no doubt about it. Despite Shocks finding that opening frag, it's Brolin and Crims that have crawled us back into a advantage. RPK in the off angle. Crims will clear this, though. Oh. He walked straight into the crosshair. RPK handles it. 3 on 3. They're wrapping. And he's done so well to find another. The full HP JW down. Zywoo, oh, he's given the warning shot on the rotate. And he hits his shots. It's 18. Vitality unscathed on their defense and just need 1 of the following 3 to take the series. Stay in the upper bracket. This is GSL format for the European side of things here for IEM New York, day 1. See that frag again. This was an important one from RPK. The second, the more impressive. It was actually a JW miss that gave him the opportunity. Zywoo given a warning shot from Brolin that he could then profit from. 1 round is all they need. Vitality clearly motivated. A lot of hard work. Culmination of that available. Let's not forget, they nearly had it on Vertigo. fnatic closing it out in the end, and it's equally as close here. These teams hard to separate.
I like Vitality calling these timeouts in the overtimes. It gives them a little bit of extra time to think, oh, the first half, it was so long ago. What were we doing? What was working? What wasn't working? Do we want to go for an early, fast strategy in the first round of overtime here? Because they have 3 to work with, right? Exactly that. So you may as well throw it at the wall, see what sticks. And if you want to go for something a little bit off the cuff, a little bit more spawn-based, if somebody has a good spawn, somebody has a feeling they can make a pick, you might want to let them go for it on a round like this, knowing you have a lot to work with. That 16K means the buys will come through consecutively for Vitality. AWP will come out on the side for Zywoo. JW with 1 of his own. Apex with 30 kills to his name, 27 for Zywoo. They're the top performers at the moment for the French. On the other side of things, Brolin with 28. The remainder of the Fnatic players on 20 or 21. So someone else needs to step up and help Brolin out here if the Swedes want to keep going.
I think the CT's kind of misplaced those.
Yeah, it happened a few times on both sides of things.
Yeah, it must be lovely for the T side. Okay, well, we'll get an extra smoke to keep. Wonderful, no worries. Wonder if they could maybe make use of that. But all of that aside, we still have to see what they intend to do with a hefty lean towards long. Looks like on the chopping block would be Brolin, but not been particularly easy to get past. Currently, obviously, leading the fray for the Swedes. backing him up will be JW, so imagine your Shocks and Zywoo combo, but just flip it around a little. But whether or not they commit here is yet to be seen. RPK is going to continue forward, but look at that bomb. It is leaning back towards B now. RPK, that's a little bit of a wonder. If he finds this, that's going to be problems. Now look towards Golden, instantly going to have to consider where his positioning is. They have to account for this. And while all that happens, you have the T side, Vitality now looking towards B, and a weaker B at that.
Shock's making room. Crim's catching him, and Masuta's just walked in on his own as well. This does not look like the Vitality round after all. ZywOo to change things. He's walking up on short. He'll have an opportunity with that AWP to catch an inquisitive Swede. 25, they really don't have a chance here. They have to walk out up Monster Tunnel and hope ZywOo hits the nutty wallbang. Oh, well, he has. Crims, however, has done the necessary deed, and now ZywOo with it all to do. He's only got 13 seconds. There's
both in the pit.
He could try and hit the shots, but he just doesn't have the time, surely. That's the first.
Oh no!
Crims handles it. 4 kills from Crims in the round.
Oh dear. We said someone else had to step up in a big way. Crims with 4 kills to shut out that B-side attack and, well, make sure Fnatic stay away from losing another round and thus the series. It was looking so good for them. 15-9. Just crazy that they lost so many on the trot. So that was 6 in a row. Make that 9 in a row from Vitality up until this stage. That's the first round that Fnatic have posted on the board in 9 rounds. That's wild stuff there. Yeah, that's quite the streak that they've been held to. This time the Molotov will land, extinguished by Vitality. Forward they charge. If they can find that kill onto Brolin again, maybe consider going towards that A side of things. B, for both sides, hasn't really been netting too much success. Lots of damage. Masuta, he's the caretaker of the backyard area of the B bomb site. He's been chunked on down the run boost a little bit early there from Apex, but away they go, and so does ZywOo, launched into the air. Brolin still to deal with them here. His forward position is met with JW as well.
Okay, Brolin though going to play into this. While Flash still does well to find RPK. You could have JW to be a little bit more cautious. Ooh, Brolin trying to get a little bit cheeky there. But yeah, nice play back in for Apex. Oh, JW, you're a lucky boy. ZywOo very close by. Now, do remember that Masuta and Shocks obviously had a great deal of damage just thrown at them towards B very early on. So these two have been quite quiet with their progress, and another lean back to B after that initial contact.
Well, if Vitality are quick, they can just isolate one player on that B site right now that is Flusher. The rotation from Crims is coming back over, but it might be too little too late. Flusher's actually playing retake. He's dropped his Molotov. Is it enough to do damage to Shocks or Masuta? Shocks has pushed forward.
Wow, Crims finding that. It's actually given them a fantastic avenue back in. Masuta needs to be planting. Apex caught, but does hit the shot necessary. So, with low HP, with a high margin for failure, Vitality have got an opportunity to end it here. Fnatic to contest a necessary retake in order to play another round of counter. ZywOo, the only healthy member left, knows he's got to step up. Start to push. Left side held. 2 dropping. ZywOo's responsibility, and he does well to find it. It's all onto JW, so low. He's running out of chances though. Good duel. Doesn't finish off ZywOo in time. He doesn't have the time, and so 19 is found. Vitality. Apex just grateful for the win in the end, and they will stay in the upper bracket. Fnatic to meet complex